Vijeta.
Very good afternoon, boss. How are you doing?
Doing
So,
fantastic
see, this is an old T-shirt that I've got. See what it says. I don't know if you can read it. Made with passion in Bangalore.
in Bangalore. Oh yes, I want one of that.
So I do. This is yeah, as a bunch of fantastic folks, hustlers who are doing a lot of work in Bangalore. So they gifted this to
Very
me.
nice.
So
And what's very nice, they don't have their logo there, so I'm wondering which is
yeah,
the
yeah,
curiosity
yeah,
part of the
It's
marketing.
about, yeah, it's about all those who are doing something good in Bangalore, man. Huh?
Oh yes, and
So great,
that's
Jagat. Looking forward to our session now.
yeah.
Alrighty, done. So
So
would you like to kickstart?
no,
What
firstly,
what?
thank you, Vijeta. Thank you firstly for again joining into this session. Really important to have somebody like you with us.
Most
Uh,
problems, more problems. Sir. You're
not only rallying for the Vidphone cause, but also for all the other startups and the community. I think hats off to you. Been a up and down 2020 for most people, but I think your work has remained the same. I think you have been doing more than ever, probably, right? I think with all the
yeah,
remote work.
more
So
than ever, more than ever.
yeah, hats off to you. So thanks to everybody else for also joining in. Today, as we know, is the finale or the last episode of the Vidphone show for this year, right, 2020. And what a year it's been. Of course, I'll keep this session fairly short. Maybe half an hour is what I'm gunning for, plus about 10 minutes of Q&A, if that's good. Then I think we have another session coming up. So at the very beginning, I'd like to tell everybody who's watching or will be watching, we have League of Extraordinary Startups with Rahul Shashi. I think that's going to be again a fantastic episode. So that's starting at 5:30 today. So looking forward all of you to join us then as well. So Vijita, I mean, any opening notes from your end? Of course, you would have seen the heading,
Of
your
course.
email plus the video business model. That is
Yeah. So
the
definitely, Jagat. So see, now this is something again for the ecosystem, for the community. People who are into remote sales, people who are into the marketing, and all the founders, right? I mean, like, how do you grow? How can we use the technology tools like VMail? Jagat, you also have been educating things like widgets on your websites where you can do video chats, etc., right? So for me, I want to understand deeper is what are the tools that can be leveraged, right? You're also a startup founder, Jagat. You also need to make your money. You need to make your because you have to pay your salaries. You have to grow your company. You have to take care of your investors. So we don't forget that part. Okay, it is all about sales. It's all about making money. It's about growth, and it's about acquiring customers and customer experience. So keeping these five things in mind for the ecosystem, Jagat. I'm looking forward also to see what else with phone and VMail opportunities, etc. that is there. So let's go for it. Thanks.
all right. Thanks, Vijita. So again, welcome everybody. So again, as Vijita said, the context. Uh, Things have changed a lot dramatically over the past 9 months now since March, and it's really a change that nobody has seen before, right? So what I will do is try and initially not just tell you about what's happened, but to kind of see how each one of us, that is, when I say us, not only Vidphone or as a product startup, more importantly, any business that we believe is in the knowledge economy. Right? We want to address specifically that sector of businesses today. And that being said, I must also, tell all the audience and everybody. Today we had the eighth AGM of Every Crave, which is our parent company. We finished it in the morning today, and it is a wonderful ride. I must tell you that the whole journey of starting up of entrepreneurship, it's not about a product or something that you do for 1 year or 2 years, right? I think, and in fact, today I use the term you get institutionalized by the corporate, and I think there is military institutionalization. There is a different kind. But when you look at it from our side of things, when you're a director or when you're running a company, it's really the company teaches you a lot, right? And you get institutionalized at some level. So that is again a thing that only people, I think, who have been there for more than, let's say, 4, 5, 7 years will understand that journey, right? It's not about I started up an idea, it didn't work in 9 months, I shut it down, did something else, right? So, and I'm sure the audience we have in this community of Vidphone plus tie collaborative effort of let's say LXS plus Startup Sunday plus Vidphone show. This whole community. I think the most important thing here is that the entrepreneurs are long term in their thinking. Whatever I say today, it will only have some meaning for those who are here for the reasonable long term. It's for the mid to long term. It's not a get rich scheme, right? So I don't think there is, entrepreneurship or starting up is a get rich scheme. So this is only going to be applicable for those kind of audiences, not only startup founders, but anyone in the business side of things, in charge of, let's say, P&L, somebody in charge of customer facing activities, be it sales, be it marketing, customer support, and even it would cover internal communications in a company, right? Today we have seen the disruption of collaboration because of the whole pandemic, right? All the offices today are dispersed. And it brings up a huge challenge, how companies are going to adapt and be productive, and also not only productive, but as many of you may be knowing today, the 2020s is all about creativity. Today we're going to see more and more of that word creativity, because the more there is automation, the lesser it requires mundane tasks to happen, right? Then what happens to people? This is always an important question. Will VMail, video CRM, today I'm talking of, let's say, in a bit we'll talk of video sales and marketing automation. So basically all you do is start a webinar and let the platform convert that prospect all the way into a customer. So then why do you need a human being there? And I think that becomes a very relevant question going forward. What kind of work will humans be doing? And this is not too far out in the future, folks, let me tell you. We may think this is, 2050s, but no, it could very much happen in the 2020s and maybe in the first half of 2020s. That's the scale of disruption. That's the scale at which things change, and nothing better to describe that than the pandemic, right? To tell you how quickly things can turn 180 degrees. We have just had a living example, and we also look at it in a positive way sometimes, right? So now let me just get to the heading, which what we are talking about, VMail plus the video business model. I'll of course run into a short demo, but I think today we will keep it more at a conceptual level. And of course, in the first week of Jan, we have a series of sessions where we'll be explaining the video business model in detail, because it's not something that we can cover completely in half an hour, to be honest. And I think this is something that we have developed over nearly half a decade. Hundreds of businesses been part of the cohort, been part of whom we learn from, and also people for whom we deploy solutions. So it's not possible to encapsulate hundreds of businesses worth of feedback and 5 years of work into just half an hour. But conceptually, I think it's definitely possible. So that's what I will attempt in this short session. Very firstly, let me just talk about VMail at an introductory level. Now, we're all aware that over the past 9 months since the pandemic, we are looking at ways to communicate with people in other places, right? We all have been told to stay at home. Of course, a lot of people are going out nowadays. That's there, but let's assume that the solution is not yet there. The vaccine, at least in India, is not out yet. Let's not jump the gun. And what we have done so far, one of the positive things, we have unconsciously made the world or work more sustainable. So let us continue that, at least until the vaccine is rolled out and there is at least a fair herd immunity. We should not go back completely to what we were doing, right? Because that would be really suicidal. So that being said, the challenge for all businesses around the world, and specifically knowledge-related businesses. Now, what do we mean by knowledge businesses or a knowledge worker? Now, the way we define this, I mean, it's not that somebody who is not in a so-called knowledge work does not use his brain, right? So never get us wrong on that. I believe that people even outside use their brains a lot. But the way that I can explain knowledge work, or let's say the information worker today, it's not only about IT. Anybody who uses the internet for his livelihood, I would define broadly as an information worker. Now, one may ask me, Jagat, I'm a farmer, and I'm trying to do innovative things with my mobile phone. Am I also an innovation worker? Currently, I would say in India, we don't have that yet. I would not consider a farmer yet an information worker, but that I think is the goal going forward. When farmers become information workers, then your nation is unstoppable. But for the sake of this discussion, farmers, maybe even a painter, a normal blue collar worker, I would call, let's say, white collar jobs at some level would form into this knowledge. But more specifically, an accurate description would be that each problem that a knowledge worker is faced with in his profession or business life, the answer is not always the same. Now, this would be a way to put it, where the knowledge worker has to think about each problem specifically and use his intelligence and solve this problem, right? This would be a more accurate description of knowledge worker or information worker, where the work is not repetitious. If the work is repetitious, typically these are candidates for automation and AI in the next 5 to 10 years. So if yours is a clerical job, some kind of job where there is a repetition of activity day in, day out, doing almost the same thing, yes, you are definitely a target for being replaced by tomorrow a robot or an AI. Okay. So getting that out of the way, now that we've explained this knowledge worker, information worker concept, now these information workers are all around the world, right? And typically they contribute a very, very large part of the GDP of most countries. And even they fall in the higher per capita kind of income brackets, right? You would find people in white collar jobs. Typically, you would say the quality of life or the kind of job is at a slightly higher level, which means that your hourly rate may be higher. And obviously, that there's a lot more kind of intellectual or knowledge driven work. So this became a challenge. How do knowledge workers collaborate? And of course, we also, as a lot of people know, we launched one of the world's first browser-based video conferencing and webinar solutions in the world. And we were very happy to see that this year we had many other large companies, the top tech companies in the world, along with companies in India, including Reliance, who are not really, I would say, a technology company. Of course, they're in Geo, but they also threw their hat into the ring with Geo Meet. And I think Zoom, we have all seen the growth in the product and the wonderful way that Zoom works, at least in terms of the product level. Also Google Meet and Microsoft Teams, right? So we saw all of these video conferencing companies along with Vidphone as well. And we had nearly a 6 to 10x growth in June, July in terms of our users. And that was really exponential, the kind of rise that people organically would come to the Vidphone website, sign up as users and kind of use the platform, right? But one thing that all the businesses kept in mind, especially tech companies, is that we consciously kept the price fairly low, or if not free, right? This was because I think these are unprecedented times, and when technology companies are in a position where they can help society, I think they should always look at doing that, right? Of course, what happens later is different, but you would find that video conferencing and webinars became the order of the day, right? If it was internal communication or a two-way conference, I would use video conferencing. Or if I was doing an outreach, if I had to do marketing or community development, any kind of training, one-to-many kind of interaction, I would do a webinar, right? So the webinars and video conferencing came to the center and seemed to be a very good solution, right? And no doubt about it, we have seen for many, many years, we have always seen video conferencing has not had its time in the sun so far. And 2020 would be remembered as a year that video meetings and video technology really took center stage, right? But very soon we found that it's not as rosy picture. We found quickly that productivity was really questioned, highly questionable. People are on meetings all the time. We already know that similarly, like an email, if you send an email, you're probably drafting it for some time and you're done with it. You've sent it and it's over. But typically a phone conversation itself goes a lot longer than a text communication. And then you see video that comes in, and you see more people in that video. That is not just one person. It's like, you have 10 people on a call, 15 people on a call. It just goes into 1.5, 2 hours, 3 hours calls, right? And so when you work 8 hours a day and you have 3 hours in one call and you have a few of those calls, very quickly you find that 24 hours are simply not enough in a day. So people all over the world found, or this common term called Zoom fatigue came about. Or let's just call it video meeting fatigue. Let's not talk only about Zoom. I think all the companies, and including Vidphone, right? I mean, if we are on Vidphone calls whole day, I'm sure everyone will be quite tired. So that became a challenge now. While this seems to be the only option, talking through video conferencing seemed the only viable option during the pandemic. Quickly we realized that, hey, productivity is nowhere where it should be. And we also observed these things very closely, because a lot of our users, we felt the usage, and we ourselves internally, when we use the platform, we see how can things be a little different. And sometimes Akhil and I, we may discuss saying that, hey, we just spent 45 minutes discussing this. Maybe it could have been over in 5 minutes. Why did we waste 40 minutes on a call? And got us really thinking. And we realized that there are two kinds of communication. And I just want to get to a little bit of technicalities before I get to the platform. There is asynchronous communication and there is synchronous communication. And to layman, just to make it easy to understand, what is in sync, that is what is together, like something happening at the same time. That is synchronous communication. Much like this conversation with me, Vijeta, and let's say a telephone conversation, right? But you can think of it as a pipe. There are two ways in which the conversation is going, and it's happening simultaneously in both directions. And on the other hand, you have what's called asynchronous communication, where it's typically a one-way communication. Examples of this would be, in the olden days, you can think of the letters we used to send. I would write a letter and then I would send it. Until that person got that letter and read it and then wrote back, I could not hear from them. So when we take this down to technical kind of analogy in terms of computer science, I explain it similar to having the HTTP request response versus having what we call sockets, right? So where you request something and then you get a response. And this is a asynchronous communication. And synchronous communication, where it's a two-way pipe that kind of flows both ways, right? And if you look at text communication, it works very well. Emails still dominate business communication because it has that element of asynchronicity to it. It's asynchronous. I send a message, I wait for you, and then you can reply on your own sweet time. But when you look at telephone, the problem is, of course, I need to be there available every time you're there. So sometimes it's not the best. If I need to think about something and get back to you, it's not the best solution. Or let's say that, I'm not such an extroverted person. Let's say I am somebody who keeps quiet during meetings. Many times we find that they have no say in a video conference. But that, I think, is very unfair, because a lot of the people who are most silent have a lot of great inputs to share with us. And that's when we got thinking very deeply, and we devised what's called VMail, which is basically video plus email. The aim here, or the idea, is to give you the best of both worlds. Right? On one side, you have email, where it gives you the flexibility of time, where I can respond when I want. And the other side, you have video, which gives you the emotional, non-verbal cues, which make up a large part of communication. We might try to marry both these concepts, where you give the emotion and the personality of video and the kind of flexibility of emails into one elegant solution that we call VMail. You can think about it something like a video messaging service, something like what we had SMS in the phones. Just imagine in your phone, if you didn't have SMS, then you would be on a call all the time. Now, of course, in the olden days, we used to use SMS. Now it's replaced by WhatsApp texting. Right? It serves the same purpose. So similarly, we obviously felt that the world needs a solution like this, because then teams, people, everyone can have communication in video, but at the same time, it does not lead to fatigue, and it leads to a more relaxed way of approaching conversations, right? It need not be always high intensity. Another thing is, of course, that we felt that video conferencing in general rewards the loudest person in the room. Typically, if I'm talking all the time, I'm always on the speaker view, and people are always seeing my photograph or my video. But however, when you look at a normal conversation with 6 people sitting around a table, you don't really find the person who's talking jumping to the center all the time. Right? They're all given equal kind of real estate and mind real estate where everybody can communicate. So keeping these points in mind, we did realize the need, and that's why we have come up with this, probably the first in the world. We were probably the first, around the first in the world, to launch browser-based full-fledged conferencing. Today, we are very happy. I take this opportunity with my co-director Akhil as well. Akhil Uday Kumar and myself, we are really excited and proud and humbled to launch VMail. So what I'll do now is I will just quickly run you through a simple dashboard. Is my screen visible, Vijay? Can you just?
Yeah, it's visible.
So I'm just using a test account here. This is the Vidphone test account. And as you can see, we have an upcoming webinar, which is the ongoing one right now. And here is the kind of initial VMail layout. So here, obviously, this is a fresh inbox, nothing been sent here. Here, what we call the compose. You can compose a VMail very easily. I can just put somebody's name here. And let's say I want to send it out to Vijeta. The advantage of VMail is that I can send these to even people outside my contacts. I can just send it to any VMail. So we get into this, what we call a VMail log. So we have three options here. If you can see my screen, in this, it's written here, no VMails. We can get started. The central red button is what we call the video mail. This is where you can send out your video emails. We have also voicemail. Sometimes it's not always easy for us to send video mails for various reasons. You can send out a very crisp voice note. And of course, there is always text communication for those who require text communication, right? Now, the power of this is that you can also directly send, do voice and video calls right from here. So I think that's also going to be a huge benefit. So just to show you a quick sample. Just a minute. I'm just getting some. I think I need to screen share again. Vijeta, able to see me?
No,
oh, sorry. I screen share just stopped for a second.
You need to screen share.
All right. Got it. Thanks to my audience. Thanks to my viewers for telling me. So let me just give you an example here. All the user needs to do is click on this VMail and then press the start button. Of course, I will not do this right now because my video is engaged in the webinar. But I would encourage all the users to go and try VMail. The moment you send this out, the other user automatically gets an email, and he can also respond. He or she can also respond to you in live video, right? In fact, let me just give this a shot. Just testing out VMail. I don't know if this will work because we have a concurrent video in the other tab, but I'm sending out this VMail to Vijeta, and a very happy new year in advance, Vijeta. Have a great one. So we just send in a small description here. This would show in the subject line in the email, and we are pushing out this upload. Within a few seconds, you will see that the video has been uploaded. Of course, it takes a few seconds because it's a video, and there you go. And then you can actually play this. This is a shot, and you can see that just testing out VMail. The video actually just goes there. I don't know if this will work because we have. Of course, we do some alterations on the video, so we expect to increase the quality very, very quickly, even on the default. So that's a very quick kind of way where I displayed VMail. Now, Vijeta would have got a mail. He can view that. He can again respond to his audience directly with VMail. We have another beautiful feature here. One is, of course, the contacts, where you can invite other contacts and add them to your. Sorry, I need to screen share again. So let me just run you through very quickly. We also have the contacts tab here, which is the people. In the people, you have contacts and groups. Groups, you can think of it something like your channels in Slack or maybe your threads. I can create, let's say, a Vidphone marketing group. And this would just be, let's just put test here for now. And I could invite various users to become part of this group. All of them become members of this. And everybody now can basically communicate in real time, right? And so here you have a whole group. So all of us here in this case, I have made with Vijeta and Akhil, for example, just an example of a Vidphone marketing. And we can again have asynchronous conversations right here, on the VMail inbox. We also have now, let me get to now, I think that's a quick understanding of VMail. I would encourage all of you to try it. Of course, that was a test account, not really populated, but I also have my personal account. I cannot show you that because of various conversations, but definitely I see a lot of power in VMails. The kind of conversations I'm able to have with people, it's not like a WhatsApp text, it's not like a video conference. It's the best of both worlds. And really, I'm seeing a lot of, myself, I'm seeing a lot of benefit. And I encourage all of you to log into Vidphone. We are free, you can sign up. Set your Vidphone ID there. Like for example, here you see on the URL, it's vidphone.me/Vidphone. You can have your own name or your own brand and basically have your own secure video address for the 2020s. No other platform in the world, apart from one or two others, where you can have your own unique video ID completely on the browser. Now, when you know that all the business in, 80 to 90% of business in 2020s is going to happen on video, it's very important that you have your own video room, your own video station, your TV, your own video mailbox, these and your own video-based HQ, headquarters, your virtual office online. These are the building blocks of 2020, what I call a video business model. And let me give you an example of that, just showing you the dashboard. In our dashboard now, things are very, very simple. Now you get a high level understanding of what Vidphone is about. We encapsulate VMails, webinars and live streams, video meetings, everything into one integrated platform. What you can do is what we call it the customer's total experience on video. Now what this means is, before a customer knows of your brand, that is from the branding standpoint, from the awareness side of things, to the consideration and the information seeking, and they're gaining information about your product, till the decision and the purchasing, and also continuing through to customer support after they are customers. This entire customer journey is what we call the total video experience on Vidphone. And with Vidphone, businesses of all sizes and of all sectors can today cater to their customers completely on live video. Some of these components, as I mentioned, is you have the groups, we have contacts, you can add new contacts. As I said, this is a brand new ID, so there's not too much of data here. It's a test account. We of course have webinars, like what we're doing now. You can instantly go live, or you can also have scheduled webinars. We also give you extremely detailed analytics of all the webinars and shows that you have using your Vidphone TV, the Vidphone live streaming platform. You can take a look at all the detailed analytics views. You can export the CSV of the attendees, participants. And we also have the full suite video meetings, which we call Vidphone rooms. Vidphone.me/room/Vidphone. That's it. As elegant as that. You have your own stylized, personalized rooms. No more going to, random meeting IDs and, passwords and downloading applications. Everything from your own, and it's what I say, I'll be in my room. It's as simple as that. Where do we meet? In my room. And my room is vidphone.me/room/Jagat. Anytime you want to, talk to me, of course, that's where I'll be. We also have recordings. We have a wonderful new feature, the leads, V-leads. As you can see, look at this, 147 new people who have signed up on our platform, who have visited the Vidphone show and the Startup Sundays. You can see your leads being generated every time you go online and every time you talk about your business. This is what we call building your tribe. Of course, once the lead is there, they can be further in touch with us through VMails, through VMeets, through our future webinars. This is the way to build trust in the 2020s by constant interactions after permission marketing. We hate spamming our users. All of the people that we talk to are all after they have registered with us, voluntarily shared their email so that we can communicate our developments with them. Of course, we have scheduling and we have the wonderful V appointments. V appointments is a very, very important feature. Today, as you know, people are tired of scheduling calls after sending one email after the other and with unsecure meeting links. What you can do with Vidphone, everyone has a very, very elegant Vidphone ID. Anybody who wants to book an appointment with me or my company can just come onto this website. They can come into my link, vidphone.me/vidphone, our company link. They can book their time. They just have to put in a few small details here. Let's say I'm Ramesh at Gmail. I can invite other participants. Let's say I want Mahesh also to be part of it. And I just schedule it, right? And in real time, all the participants get secure video meeting links that they can join. Now, what we aim to do with these tools, now all of these are not to be used in isolation. All of these tools are meant to address different parts of that customer's journey. To give you an example, the webinars or the TV module that you can see, even on Vidphone, on the website, for example, we have a TV here, as you can see on the home right here. This is an outreach. This is marketing. Now, the moment the prospect or the lead is interested, they will come and they can engage with you using VMails. The moment they are more interested, they want to purchase, they want a demo, they want a proposal, you want negotiation, you get into the conversations with the rooms, video meetings. Once they are customers, they can always contact you through your video chat widget that we integrate right onto your website. Very powerful tool, helps you keep your customers very, very close to you. And you can also use your webinars for continuous customer advocacy, and also VMails, where if you have any remote support, let's say you have a problem, your customers can always shoot a VMail to you. They can explain the problem in video and your team can address it at your own time. This is at a high level what we call the video business model. Simply put, a business model is how does a company reach out to its customers and deliver its value proposition consistently. And that's what we are trying to address here. Whatever may be your business, you may be a professional services company, you may be an education institute, you may be a healthcare company, you may be an automobile manufacturer, you may be an accelerator or a venture capital fund, you may be an investment banker. Whatever might be your business, Vidphone is for you. Because all businesses have to do one thing, and that is communicate with their customers. And today, video is the de facto way of communication. While there are other tools that people may be using, at Vidphone, we deliver superior customer experience for our customers. We have one of the best customer support teams, and all of our customers, I'm sure, will vouch for that. When they require us, we are always there. While there may be automated support with many other companies, we believe that at these times, when we are powering many companies in their digital transformation, true digital transformation, we have been using this word for many, many years. And trust me, 2012, 13, 14, our company also was involved with a lot of digital transformation for some of the largest companies on the planet. But today, let me tell you that it's a video-first digital transformation. And at Vidphone, we, along with a lot of other players today in the ecosystem, some of them also the largest companies and many startups, I think collectively, all of us have a mandate to help bring the economy back on track, to help education institutes and students continue their work, to help healthcare professionals, to help retail. Every single sector is going to be transformed by video technology. And so with that, I want to keep this introductory and explanatory kind of session on VMail and the video business model. I want to keep it short, and I want to bring my own monologue to an end. Happy to take any questions, any clarifications, anything at all, any suggestions as well, and feedback. Very, very open to taking feedback from anybody here, including Vijeta. Your feedback's always valued. So, I wish all of you a very, very amazing and wonderful 2021. And hopefully it will be powered by Vidphone. And even if it's not, I still wish you an amazing 2021. The world deserves this. We've been through a lot to 2020. And I'm sure all of us collectively, the collective consciousness of the knowledge economy is going to be tested in 2021. But I'm very optimistic. And I'm also, I want to say that India as a country, we are going to actually power this whole digital transformation worldwide. And my call out to all the founders, business leaders, and the ecosystem enablers and other companies, let's all do this together. Happy to co-create wonderful, scalable, and sustainable business models for 2021. Best wishes, and to a great 2021. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Jagat. I mean, what really matters is, first of all, I quickly should thank Varad and Puneet also for joining in. And it will be love to hear their comments also. Just to let people know, I've enabled the raise hand option. So if anyone wants to just come and say hi on video, most welcome to do that. So definitely this is something that, even at time we want to see if we can utilize this. And, communities can utilize this, investors can utilize this, founders can utilize this to keep in touch with their customers. And happy that you're giving these opportunities and these tools as well, Jagat. And yes, a shout out to the community, because the kind of work that is going on with the League of Extraordinary Startups. We're having a very interesting session today with Rahul Saxi, who's the founder of Cybersecurity. As you know, is a very critical and growth stage kind of thing. And India has got a lot of fantastic startups and founders doing something around it and growing. So join in at 5:30. And tomorrow we are going to be announcing also that issue from Truck Suvidha. It's a logistics startup, so they'll also be there. So a whole bunch of folks are coming in. A shout out to all the partners who are helping us out, like Rohit Sardana and his team from Incubate IND. People are giving us connections to lots of startups. Of course, Jagat, you're a time member, so it's nice to hustle for you as well, because that's important. And we will continue doing this. And Jagat, more sessions, more inputs, more easy to use tools of how Vidphone can be leveraged by all the founders and entrepreneurs, so that remote sales, video sales, they can do more of this stuff, keeping in touch with the team. So definitely looking forward to that.
Absolutely. And my personal thanks also, and shout out to the Incubate in folks, Puneet, Rahul. Thanks a lot, Rohit. Really wonderful. I've seen the work that you guys do, getting all the hackathons going. I think that's brilliant. Hacker culture is what kind of Akhil and myself, even at our team, right? I mean, for us, we build video communications. We build other software tools. But I think the spirit of hacking is what's keeping the tech industry alive. And thanks to a lot of ecosystem folks like you, a lot more hackers come into the system, right? Of course, it goes without saying, ethical hackers. Of course, when we use the word hackers, we know that it's used in a positive light, and people who break, find aggressive, disruptive solutions in a constructive way. That's very important, right? On the other hand, you have the hackers, like I think what Rahul is addressing today, cybersecurity side, right? How you have to be careful from the negative force hackers. So big shout out to the hacker community of India. You guys are the rock stars, and you are going to change the face of this country. And my salutes to you. And as I said, we are here, like Vijeta also said, from the very first week of January. We at Vidphone, along with our partners at TIE, Incubate and INQ, I think it's up to all of us to collaborate, co-create, sessions, so that everyone's able to grow together. That's the kind of unanimous kind of understanding that all of us have. So anybody else there who want to partner with us, a shout out. Feel free to drop us a mail. I'm just sharing my mail ID here. Jagat at vidphone.me or vidphone.me/Jagat. You can just directly go there, schedule an appointment with me. We are happy to look at your mission and power that forward, right? That's what we do. We are not here only to further our mission. We understand as a company that we grow only if we help our customers grow. And really looking forward to 2021. Yeah. So see everyone again back at 5:30. Alexa.
Right. Absolutely. The League of Extraordinary Startups, talking about innovation, growth, sales, and making money. Okay, so I think
Absolutely.
that would be interesting. And thank you for that. Thank you, everyone. And I just see that Elon Gates has also joined us. That's an interesting name. That's a combination of Elon Musk and Bill Gates. So that's a very unique name, my friend. Whoever you are. Okay.
Maybe it's one of them themselves. Maybe it's Elon.
That would be interesting. All right. So anyway, 5:30 is when we get back in and having a conversation with Rahul from CyberSec, and let's catch up soon. Okay. Take care. Thank you. Thank you, Jagat. Look after yourself now. Bye bye.
Bye.
Cheers. Thank
Cheers.
you.